Yes. So what happened is the swallow came back to the prince as it got dark. He was sitting on the ship. He's planning to go to Egypt, but as he came back to the happy prince and said, "I have come to say bid you goodbye, boss. Now I am going." He cried. "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince again. "Will you not stay with me one night longer?" "It is winter," answered the swallow, "and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. Now what will you say? It's going to be very cold here. I'm going to go and enjoy my life in Egypt. Even crocodiles come out on the lie in the mud and look lazily about them. Sun is warm on the green palm trees. In the square below," said the happy prince, "there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter and they are all spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money, and she is crying. She has no shoes or stockings and a little head is bare. Pluck out my other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her." "I will stay with you one night longer," said the swallow, "but I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then." "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "do as I command you." Now the swallow is thinking, okay, fine, this is a good guy. This prince is a good man. Look at the heart of a statue, the soul. That's what it's trying to say in this story. A person who is good at heart during his living time will be also a good heart during after his death also. So the soul is talking that he has got no tension also, that he does not care about his statue as long as his people have to be. So just imagine what a nice prince he was when he was living. He cared so much for his people. Now he is seeing another child who sells matchboxes. By chance the matches have all fallen into the drain. It's got wet. They won't burn, so she can't sell it. And she is not able to. She go home. Her father is going to beat her if she doesn't bring money. Just imagine that father left the child without shoes, without socks, in this cold, without anything on her head, and sent her to sell matches, and he's going to beat her if he does not come with the money. The prince is thinking, telling the swallow to go and take another sapphire out of my ear and and go and give it to her so that her father won't beat her. Swallow says, "Okay, I'll stay with you another one night longer, no problem. But if I cannot take out your another eye, you would look totally blind." So he says, "Do as I command you." So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down again with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. "Now what a lovely bit of glass," cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. Oh, what will a child know the price of a sapphire or a stone? What a nice piece of glass. And she was very happy. She ran home. Then the swallow came back to the prince. "You are blind now," he said, "so I will stay with you always." Now look at the heart of the swallow. Forgot about Egypt. This guy has become blind, giving for the people, only doing for others, does not think about himself. So I should stay back with him. How will he look around? I'll become his eyes. "No, little swallow," said the poor prince, "you must go away to Egypt." "No, I will stay with you always," said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him the stories of what he had seen in strange lands. They became good friends. "Dear little swallow," said the prince, "you tell me of some marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of men and women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there." Next day he sat on the shoulder of the prince. No work, no more stones. Now only gold leaflets are left, and his heart which is there, it is of metal, lead. He's telling him stories where all he had been, all about his life and everything. But the prince is telling you, tell me marvelous things. You said a lot of things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of men and women, which is very pathetic. There is no mystery so great of as misery or misery. It's very difficult. Misery, I hate misery. People in distress, people in problems. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there. So the swallow took the order and he started flying. Now he's become his agent, news agent. And saw the rich making merry in the beautiful houses while the beggars were sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes. He saw the white faces of starving children looking out listily at the black streets. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lynching in each other's arms to try to keep themselves warm. How hungry we are, they said. You must not lie here, shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off leaf by leaf and give it to the pure. The living always think that gold can make them happy. If you die, what will you do with the gold? It's of no use to you. So the swallow, the bird, when it went and flying, it saw people, rich people are all happy, making fun, beautiful houses, beggars are sitting on the road, front of gates, waiting for someone to give them something so they can eat. Saw the beautiful little white children, clean, fair children sitting, starving children. They may be white because of hunger. Their faces have become white. Their health has become white. When you have malnutrition, sitting in the dark alleys quietly looking out at the streets, when will we get some food? Two boys he sings standing under an overbridge, archway of a bridge, the archway underneath the gap is there. It's raining. They're cuddling up with each other to beat the cold. But a guard comes there and says, you are not allowed to stay here. The watchman, come on, get out. People are being kicked away, isn't it? Poor people have got no prestige. They wandered out into the rain. They'll get sick. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. Then he said, I am covered with gold. Not a problem. Said the prince, you must take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to the pure. The living thing, the living always think that gold can make them happy. But is it true? It's a very nice thing that gold cannot bring happiness. But yes, apparently for the poor it can bring them money and they'll be able to lead a good life, at least eat. That's what the prince is trying to say, that I am a dead person, what will I do with this gold? Give my gold to them, leaf by leaf take it out. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier and they laughed and played in the streets. We have bread now, they cried. Leaf after leaf he kept on giving and taking, and he saw that slowly the prince is becoming dull. That glaze is not there anymore in that prince, isn't it? Suddenly it's going away. So you also get weak. By trying to give others, giving energy to others, your energy goes away. Richness goes. Energy goes, but he doesn't mind. So he's becoming dull, his color is becoming dull. One power going from another power, so that power gets infected. So the swallow takes his order, goes and gives it to the children, are happy. Now they're glowing now, they're becoming more rosy, the cheeks are becoming more pink. And they're happy. They said, now we are going to buy bread, we are going to get to eat. What a nice story. A dead statue, the soul is speaking. Wonderful. So we'll keep it till there. In the next class we'll come and do it. So guys, take care of yourselves. God bless. And see you soon. And respect your parents. Love them. Oh, sorry. A belated Happy Parents Day to all the parents out there. All the parents of Hertford and all around Muzaffarpur, those who watch my videos, if anybody is watching. So thank you so much. It's a great honor to be a part of sharing my knowledge with your children, and you have wonderful children. You are one of the best parents. Parents are always the best, so uh, and proud that you all are also very lucky that you have such wonderful children. Happy Parents Day. Thank you so much. My parents are no more, so I can't wish anybody, but I wish all parents are the same, so it's like that. So thank you so much, and you have a great time with your parents also, guys, and do whatever you want after your studies. Take care. Bye bye.